Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the November 3rd, 2025 City Council meeting. Call to order, please. Oh, no, I did the call to order. Roll call, please.
Blendy.
Here.
Ernst.
Here.
Johnson. Here. Martin.
Here.
McIntyre.
Here.
Moss.
Here.
Sluter.
Here.
And Smith.
Here.
And if we would, well, no, first, yes, first the Pledge of Allegiance. If we would rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance. We're all present here, so there's no need for approval of remote attendance. Our next item on the agenda is the presentation, recognition, proclamations, and our first is item A, approve and present WCHS golf recognition. So I will go to the podium, and then the team can stand by me as I read the proclamation. All right, welcome. Whereas the Washington Community High School varsity boys golf team demonstrated athletic excellence, sportsmanship, and perseverance throughout the 2025 season, and whereas under the leadership of coaches Garski and Uftring, the Panthers captured the Mid-Illini Conference Team Championship, and whereas the Panthers achieved historic success during the 2025 season, winning 5 tournaments, earning the title of regional champions, and breaking the school team scoring record 3 times, including a remarkable team round of 283. And whereas at the Illinois High School Association's Class 2A state finals, the Panthers recorded a 2-day total of 596 strokes, equaling the total of the state champion, and finishing as state runner-up following a tiebreaker, marking the best state finals placement in school history. And whereas senior golfer Gavin Shires exemplified leadership and competitive excellence, tying for 3rd place individually at the MIA Memorial, contributing to the team's conference championship, and finishing 4th individually at the state finals. And whereas the entire Panthers golf team has brought great pride to Washington Community High School and to the City of Washington through their dedication, teamwork, and record-setting accomplishments. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Lilia V. Stevens, Mayor of the City of Washington, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby recognize and commend the Washington Community High School varsity boys golf team, Coach Garski, Coach Uftring, and senior leader Gavin Shures for the remarkable 2025 season, proclaimed this 3rd day of November 2025.
Motion to approve McIntyre.
Second, Sluter.
Motion to approve by McIntyre, second Sluter. Cast your votes, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Thank you. I should.
Yeah.
Should.
And I'd like to say one thing. Coach is retiring this year, correct?
Yes.
Next on the agenda, we have one more proclamation. This proclamation is to approve a World War II Veterans Proclamation, which I will be presenting on Veterans Day. And this proclamation will be presented in conjunction with the high school ceremony that they're going to have, where they have the flags, the patriotic flags in front of the school. So do I have a motion to approve the proclamation that I will read on Veterans Day at the high school?
Motion to approve, Smith.
Second, Ernst.
Motion to approve Smith, second Ernst. Cast your ballots, please. Unanimous votes, motion carries. Thank you. Next on the agenda, audience comments. Do we have anyone in the audience wishing to comment? Moving on. Number 7, review agenda. Deletions or additions, discussion items only. Next, the consent agenda. We have items A through J. A, approve October 20th, 2025 regular city council meeting minutes. B, approve write-off of uncollectible accounts. C, acceptance of Police Pension Fund Municipal Compliance Report FY 2025. D, approve payment authorization, Kevin Brown Memorial Tournament of Champions. E, approve TIF pay request number 12, Tangled Roots, 140 Washington Square. F, approve Drainage Priority Project 5, pay request number 4. G, approve Catherine Phase 2, pay request number 4. H, approve Drainage Priority Project 3, Grand Isle Sewer, pay request number 3. This will be the final one. I, approve payment authorization, the ambulance. J, approve 2025 MFT United Contractors Midwest, pay request number 1. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Smith.
Second, McIntyre.
Motion to approve Smith, second McIntyre. Any questions, comments? Cast your ballots, please. Unanimous votes for approval, motion carries. Thank you. Next item, number 9, mayoral communication requested actions. Letter A, upcoming city council training session. That will be this Thursday, November 6th at 5:30 p.m. at Countryside Banquet Center. This is a follow-up, as was suggested from our recent goal-setting session. There is a link to this item for you to review. Do I have any questions, comments? Okay, letter B, November Let's Talk Washington. So this is probably the earliest that we have scheduled a Let's Talk Washington from the previous one that we had. The Brick House Restaurant is going to be hosting our Monday, November 24th, 2025, Let's Talk Washington. It'll be at 1 p.m. And the Brick House is located on Cummings. Now, they are closed as a restaurant on Mondays and Tuesdays. So everybody is invited, but don't come for lunch because the kitchen is not going to be open. Any questions? All right, moving on to C, recap of October Let's Talk Washington. We met last week at the fire station, and we had, well, it was less than a dozen people that were there. We've had a consistent number of regular people that have attended, which is nice, and we've also had a consistent number of topics that seem to carry over from meeting to meeting. And I was going to list them, but I didn't. But I will in the future. Any questions about the October Let's Talk Washington? Oh, by the way, Alderperson Jamie Smith, she was in attendance, as well as Police Chief Stevens. So if any alderpersons wish to attend the November one, please let me know, because we can only have one alderperson in attendance. So if any of you are interested, that's the week of Thanksgiving, the Monday of Thanksgiving. And finally, letter D, consideration for future discussion. The IML, which is the Illinois Municipal League, they have a model resolution if our council wishes to be part of the Illinois America 250 commemoration. So as we all know, next year there's going to be a special celebration with the United States, and Illinois is planning different activities, and different communities are invited to participate, but we would need to pass a resolution if Washington itself is going to participate, and the resolution would be needed to be passed by December. So we have plenty of time, but I wanted to bring this to your attention so you can look at the link and decide which way you want to go, and then we can talk more about this at the Committee of the Whole meeting. But I wanted to get that information out there. Any questions about that? All right, moving on. Number 10, City Administrator Communications, Staff Reports, Requested Actions.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I bring up the council report, I first wanted to thank everyone out there in the community who participated in the first Halloween decorating contest. Thank you for putting up your decorations, and thank you for inviting the community to sharing your hard work. We do look forward to future contest participation, and we hope to really build on some of the things that started during that competition. The first item that we have on the agenda this evening is the council report. Are there any questions or concerns regarding the council report from Friday?
Alderperson Blundy.
Thanks, Mayor. I just had a couple questions on some items in there. One on that looks like the evidence building's getting close to the finish line here. So I was just curious on like the cost of that. I mean, where it was budgeted versus what's actual. And it's okay if you don't know that right now, but I was just curious to know where we were at with that, if it was within the budget or not.
It is within the budget. It's a little short of what we had originally expected it to be, which you would want from the value engineering that was done. There were, like any $2.3 million project, unexpected issues that arose that ate away at some of that value engineering, but I'm thinking it winds up, if you don't quote me, I think it's going to be like $63,000 under the original amount.
Okay, cool. The other thing on the Jefferson building, I guess if the insurance doesn't agree to the roof to bring it up to code, I mean, is that repair then that we're going to have to fund to bring it up to code? I assume we need to bring it up to code, but I didn't know if it's, what that amount would be potentially if the insurance doesn't cover it, I guess.
If the insurance lets us know that they aren't going to cover it, that is something we'll be coming back to council to have a discussion with. We've heard a couple different numbers. I think the last ballpark that we heard was about 75,000, but I think that was more ballparking from Hare to the insurance company. So once we get confirmation that the insurance company will either cover it or not, if it's not, then we'll be coming back to council for another discussion on that.
Okay. And then the other question I had on just like the tax levy related to the pension fund, that, I guess, when are we going to start those discussions on the tax levy?
We have a item on next Monday's agenda for discussion of the tax levy.
Okay.
Mayor,
Alderperson Smith.
is this week the planning and zoning meeting? Was there a date? Is it this week?
Yes, John Oliphant.
Yeah, the PZC meetings are held on the first Wednesday of each month, assuming that there are agenda items. And so, yeah, there is one scheduled for 2 evenings from now.
Mayor, can I just ask, what's the difference from the last time that the Robinson Outdoor LLC tried to approached you last year and they've come back? What's the major difference this year?
There we go. So the billboard is proposed to be slightly smaller compared to last year. Last year it was 10 by 20. This year it is 8 by 16. It is also proposed to be a little bit shorter compared to last year. Last year was about 30 feet as the peak height. This year it is about 20 feet as the peak height. The location is identical.
There's no other concerns. The next item we have on the agenda this evening is the approval of a purchase authorization for square lighting replacement. And I'll hand the floor over to our Public Works Director.
Thank you. Staff has experienced ongoing maintenance issues with the lights on the square and some of the parking lot lights. As you know, sometimes they flicker, the ballasts go out. We've had different colors when we've changed them out. So we did contact R&S to kind of give us an idea, quote, on changing them all out to LED, trying to go with more of a soft white as much as possible with LEDs. But it would also eliminate the ballast that sometimes cause the lights to go out. And then we sit there and think it's a light bulb when it's not. Below, we looked at the southeast parking lot, the northeast parking lot, and the square. You can see the prices. The total would be $23,569 to do those three areas. The bulbs do come with a 5-year warranty and a 1-year maintenance warranty. So if it goes out within 1 year, R&S will come back and replace it. If it's any time within the year 2 to year 5, they'll replace a light bulb for free. They'll just give it to us and we can replace it. Some of the taller lamps we would have to have them do it. I think this would help make the square, as we continue to improve it, make it look uniform, more aesthetically pleasing. So staff would recommend purchase authorization to contract them to change out the light bulbs. Looking for any discussion, direction, approval?
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve McIntyre.
Smith, second.
Any questions, comments?
Mayor,
Alderperson McIntyre.
really like this idea, especially with, I know it's not exactly what we were hoping to have done with the square, but it is looking way nicer with the new repavement and everything. My only recommendation is, if we go ahead and do this year, I wouldn't mind making sure we're looking at picking up those other 12 lamps maybe in the next year or two, as a budgeted item.
Okay. So we did talk with R&S. They did recently get over quotes for the lights down by Casey's and Lynn Street, and then the lights in front of Lindy's. So I do have quotes for that. We're looking at probably another $26,000. They will install meters too, which I got to have a little more discussion with Ty, but he believes we're paying a price per pole, where if we get them metered, it'll be a lot cheaper. So over time, we should see a payback. So if that's something council would be interested in, I can definitely bring another proposal forward for discussion.
Yeah, I guess my opinion is I'm happy to move forward with, especially around the square in this right now. I think we're just celebrating 200 years. We're doing a lot of stuff. It's a nice area. We want to make sure that it continues to look nice. This is one of those simple things. I often think about Creve Coeur and how great it looks through there. I drive that late at night a lot of times. So again, being consistent is all I really want to consider. So I just want to make a point to, I'd like to see if we move forward that we continue down the same path.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Cast your ballots, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you.
The next item we have on the agenda this evening is a update on the finance director search. As council is aware, I mean, we have placed the replacement for Joni Baxter out for accepting applications at this time. I'd kind of spelled out a little bit of a tentative schedule on the memo itself, largely trying to target a kind of an early December interviews. That week of December 8th is where we're targeting right now. If the current city administrator search goes as planned, we should know pretty close to who that final candidate is on the 4th, which would allow staff to then at least have a discussion with that candidate on the potential candidates here, and then also offer the potential if this person wanted to participate in them live, or if they wanted to kind of zoom in, we would offer that up to them as well. Largely, the team that would be making the decision on the department head is the team of department heads with the city administrator. So the team is largely intact, minus the one new hire. If a candidate wouldn't be found in this one, then discussion with the next city administrator would then begin on how to come up with a candidate, and it may come to needing a recruitment similarly to how the city administrator search is going now. I haven't checked to see what kind of applications we have got in, but largely I expect that there be some decent candidates as we are putting in for at the IML, ILCMA, the Illinois Government Finance Officers Association. So we should get some decent traction here, and we look forward to bringing on a high-quality individual.
Do we have any questions, comments? Alderperson Moss?
Yeah, I would just, maybe it's semantics here, but I would love to see that participation of the newly named city administrator be more of a, I don't know how much you can make it a requirement, but rather than just kind of a sit-in, that's building that administrator's team, and I'd like to see them be an integral part of that process to the extent that's possible, in a transition period between what's likely probably a previous job and this one, but just, kind of, my preference would be to beef that participation up a little bit.
Mayor?
Alderperson McIntyre?
Yeah, I would agree with Alderperson, sorry, Brandon, just Moss's comments there. My only reservation in any of that would be in the event that the hiring process for city manager were to extend or go past that middle of January timeframe, then I think that we really need to consider the importance of this position. Again, I think it's, we've talked about it several times. I think the right process is to try to get somebody in there to give them proper time to learn all the processes and stuff like that. I would like to see the new city administrator to have some obvious say in this because, again, I think it helps with creating their team. It was one of the comments that I made during our recruitment process for city administrator that was going to be one of their main big tasks. So again, I do think that I would like to see the future city administrator do it, but at the same notion, in the event that were to be casted out further than the middle of January, I would hope the staff should be able to provide a significantly reputable person to fill that spot.
Alderperson Blondie?
Yeah, I also would echo some of those comments there too. I mean, to me, this coming in with two, to me, significant role changes. One, the city administrator, and then finance director. I do think it's really critical that whoever we bring in, city administrator, somehow has a say in this hire here, because it'll be something that'll have a lasting effect. I don't know if it's okay to say, like the city administrator here, to me, where we bring in, if we kind of put this like, there could be like a recommendation of whoever we want to hire, but I think, to me, it needs to wait until, like an offer would be made to like this city administrator is available, whoever we're hiring, that they get to review and make sure that they're they're comfortable. Because I don't know what kind of, like financial background we'll get with the city administrator. And then, whoever comes in with this position here. The other thing is, to me, I understand it's nice to have like a longer overlap transition period. But I think about this like, this is the department head. So I assume we're going to get somebody that's a pretty well-qualified candidate, that as long as things are well documented, then I would assume, again, I'm making an assumption there, but there's probably an easier transition period for somebody that's going to come in with a lot of experience, right? We're not hiring like a new staff accountant or something. This is somebody that's coming in to run the show for us. So I don't know that, at least in my mind, that it's that critical that we have that much of a time of overlap. If it is that critical, one of the things I kind of then would come back and question a little bit is, kind of going forward then, how do we set ourselves up where there's sufficient staff behind the department head that in the event, if we were to lose the department head all of a sudden, what do we do? It can't be this scenario where we're really that stuck, right? To me, there needs to be enough depth within our staff that may not be perfect, right? But we could carry and get along. So again, I understand the desire. I think it's okay to say it's, nice to have, but I don't think it's critical that we have that long of an overlap. And I think it's more critical that we wait for the city administrator to have their fingers right on who gets selected for that position.
Mayor?
Alderperson McIntyre.
Yeah, well, I agree. I guess my only concern is that we do get right into budget season, right after the first of the year. So that again, I know we have so many assumptions here and stuff. And I think this is one of the issues that, again, I think I would like to see in the future here on probably one of our committee of the wholes meetings is really discussing the concept of bringing some type of reverence of committees back. To me, that would help us a lot in the idea that if we had a finance committee, a public works committee, public safety committee, some of these things that we're seeing here that could be honed in by, select two people from the council to assist with staff in situations like this. So again, that's something I would love to be able to sit and discuss a little bit about if the council thought that was a flavor we should, head towards. But again, I guess I would love to see the city administrator, whoever the new one's going to be, obviously have a role in this, but the same notion, like, again, there's a limited time. We are a relatively decent sized budget. Joni's been at the position for a significant amount of years. I'm worried if for any unforeseen reason that we weren't able to seat a city administrator within the timeline we're exactly hoping, that we're not, pushing this back too far. That would be my only hesitation not to move forward. Realistically, I would love for the staff to be able to provide possibly 3 decent candidates to the future city administrator and then allow a decision to be made at that point. But again, I'm just throwing out ideas at this, and so that's kind of where I get hung up with it a little bit, because I feel like we've already discussed, what is our tax levy going to be, and we're going to be assessing that next week, and we know that we're going to get right into budget season right after the first of the year. This is a fresh council, and this is going to be new to several people on this council, so I think it's really important that we are united in trying to, figure out how this moves forward.
Mayor,
Alderperson Martin.
what is the current date range of finding the city administrator? Where are we at, like, what that final date will be?
I don't think we exactly have a final date yet. I think we'll find out more like on Thursday too when Jim Arndt is here, because the application period has been closed. So again, it depends upon what type of candidates there are. So there's really, originally I believe it was like that first week in January, but
I guess,
His original schedule was interviews on December 3rd and 4th, with this election by this council on the 4th
of January.
of December,
but
which
then-
was before the interviews on this was going to take place. So the interviews on this was being scheduled based off of a selection by this council. on the schedule that Jim had laid out.
Okay, yeah. So I think if the council somehow, you know, we get the city administrator early, or this finance director gets pushed back for whatever reason, then yes, we want the new city administrator to be involved with that. If for whatever reason the city administrator gets pushed out, or we can't find it, or they can't start, or whatever it is, and the finance director actually gets found sooner, I don't think it's an issue, us, you know, choosing the finance director without the new city administrator. Although I think that if we can make it work, that is ideal. But I don't think we need to make any adjustments or go out of our way, because I don't want to shorten the amount of time carryover or layover that we have, unless it's like a week or two. Thank you.
If there are no other questions, comments, then
Mayor.
Alderperson Johnson.
Yeah, just to echo some of the others, I think to the extent it's possible, I would definitely like to see the new city administrator, at least at the level of, once maybe it's narrowed down to 2 or 3 candidates, if that is at all possible, I think that is the ideal scenario, understanding that if we have trouble finding an administrator but stumble across the perfect finance director, I mean, we have to deal with the situation that's in front of us, but in a perfect world, I would really like to see the city administrator deeply involved with picking the final hire for finance director.
Any other comments? Alderperson Smith?
I just want to echo what Paula said and everyone else. I'm hoping that everything falls in place and he or she is able to at least be in the final 2 or 3 interviews and make a decision also. Being that they're a newcomer to Washington, it'd be nice to include them in this. Thank you.
If there are no other comments, moving on.
The next item we have on the agenda this evening is the approval of a ratification for a VACCON emergency repairs. And I'll hand the floor over to the Public Works Director again.
Thank you. During operations, staff noticed the VACCON wasn't running properly. We took it down to EJ Equipment. They looked it over and discovered an auto greaser line was broken, so the bearings on the fan were not getting greased. They also, on inspection, revealed that the fans inside, basically what create the suction, were worn due to excessive wear and debris. So they had a quote of $47,691 and some change for the repairs. These repairs are needed. It's what, again, operates the vac, allows it to hydro excavate. Speaking with them, the thought was, complete the repairs and just pay for it out of repair and maintenance fund or the contractual, or possibly you could take the money off of trade-in value. They did state if we would choose not to complete the repairs, we would not get that trade-in price. They would just deduct the $47,000. We did speak on when we were going to receive the new one. They were told by VACCON that it's an estimated delivery of November 20th. I'll just say that's estimated. We already went ahead and they know that they're repairing the fan, whether we were paying for it out of pocket or off the trade, but it's estimated 2 to 3 weeks for repair, which falls in line about maybe receiving the new one, but again, that date could get pushed out a week or 2. It's kind of unknown at this time. So staff, obviously it's recommended we repair it to get the full trade and to get our machine back as quick as possible to continue work. So just looking for council ratification of the VACCON emergency repairs.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Smith.
Second, McIntyre.
Any questions, comments?
A couple questions, Mayor.
Alderperson Moss?
So this could be 2 to 3 weeks before they get the parts to fix our current equipment?
Yep, correct. For delivery of the fan, painting of it, and then the installation.
And we're expecting our new piece of equipment in, what, 3 to 4 weeks?
Again, they said estimated delivery on the 20th. I would say a month and a half ago. I was expecting it possibly by the end of last month. So it's just kind of an estimate.
So it's a moving target on
Yes.
that.
We'll,
Okay.
obviously, in a few weeks, when we get closer to the 20th, we'll know if that's still the date.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
Mayor,
Alderperson Martin?
I just have a question out of curiosity. Would this fan be covered under warranty if this machine did have warranty still, like the new one, when we get it on November 20th?
That's not a question I didn't ask them. They feel like that when they did the inspection, they noticed a branch had hit the auto greaser line, which then it was pumping grease out, but behind components that we couldn't see, so it wasn't greasing that. I don't know if that would be a warranty issue or not, if it would, an external limb broke it. So I can't answer that at the moment.
One more question if I could. How often do you typically use this machine in a 3-week to 4-week period?
So we use it daily, again, especially with a lot of the projects going on, Catherine, and some of the stormwater projects. They've been over east end of town quite a bit. Something we did discuss is they took the fan off, so we do actually have the truck, so we can still jet. So that'd be if there's a sewer blockage or something like that, we can still jet, we just can't hydro excavate. So we thought that would be a good idea to get it back. We have it for the next 2 to 3 weeks. When the fan comes in, we'd run it back down to them.
Alderperson Blondie?
So, yeah, just a question. I mean, if this was due to like a line breaking because like a limb hitting it or something like that, is it possible insurance would cover it?
That's something I can speak with Joni about, possibly. I don't know. I don't know what our insurance policy what they would cover or what deductible would be.
Okay.
But,
I do think it'd be worth just to ask of
Okay.
if it's, I mean, again, like that, if it was due to, something like that where there was damage, maybe the insurance policy would cover it.
No, we can look into it.
Alderperson McIntyre?
Yeah, is this the only vehicle that we have that can jet as well? So in the event that we do have an issue, we're gonna have to get a rental?
We have it back now, so we can still jet with it.
Okay.
We just can't hydro excavate because of the fan.
Okay, I know I'm gonna go way out here on this one. I'm trying to recall, what was the total price of a new one, the replacement one? Do you recall? Just an estimate?
It was like 630,000.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is obviously this is a vital piece of our equipment, and I'm not saying that this is the time right now, but is it something that we may, as a council, look here in the future of when the next one's coming up for replacement to not do a trade-in and to have one as a backup? I know that a lot of the reason we went with the trade-in and everything was for warranty and stuff like that, but I guess my concern is, again, I know it's a large investment, but as we take on more property and we deal with more stuff and it's a vital piece of equipment, again, this is maybe not something for this council to think about, but a future council, is that, would there be some value in that? I mean, at the end of the day, at $50,000 or $47,000, replacing it so we get $250 out of a $600,000 deal is still a good deal to me, but at the, long term, I'm just trying to throw out there, should it be something that, discussed in beefing up our MRF or beefing up our equipment in the future as we need demand?
I think we've had a few discussions on this. It's kind of looking back at like past years when we've been without the VACON for a week or two or a month. I think hanging on to a piece of equipment that expensive that it'll also need its repair and maintenance, forward. I think it would sit a lot. I think when we are down, being able to call on like a Hare or a GA Rich who have these equipments too that we can contract, I think you won't pay as much in those one-offs while ours is down as much as you would if you kept a second one. That eventually would need new tires, or you'd need to run from time to time. The things that could go wrong with it, you know, if you have two of them and both fans go bad, you know, you're stuck with repairs like that. I think, I guess eventually, if it got to where the city's big enough and you could run like two crews, and that would be enough to kind of keep them busy throughout the season, maybe at that time you think about keeping two. But I think for what we do now, one's enough.
All right, thank you. I was just throwing out different ideas.
If there are no more questions, cast your vote, please. Unanimous approval to approve ratification for the VACCON emergency repairs. Thank
Yeah,
you.
We'll look into the insurance.
Moving on, resolutions.
Yes, we have two resolutions on the agenda this evening. The first of which, the following resolution would approve funding of the city's portion of the signal work and a joint funding agreement with IDOT for the US 24 resurfacing project, and by title, approving the joint funding agreement for the US 24 resurfacing project. This is a project that came a little bit out of nowhere for me. I wasn't aware that they were even looking at resurfacing US 24. But when it came about, I mean, we do have an agreement with them to perform our portion of the signal work, whether it's a routine maintenance or a project like this. So we do already have an agreement that kind of spells out our percentage of the signal work that needs to be done. And this, they're just wanting us to approve it because it's kind of fallen within a project. So it's still the same funding percentage that we have. It's just inside an IDOT project itself.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve. Martin.
Second, Smith.
Any questions, comments? Alderperson Blondie.
Well, I mean, how much are we talking here? I mean, just, I can understand something we got to do, but I was just curious how much that may cost.
So the cost of this is $66,356. That's the city's portion.
Okay.
Cast your
Mayor.
vote. Oh, Alderperson
And
Moss.
This intersection specifically because it's the only US 24 that is in the city limits, or is that true? Or why not Main Street or those outside of the?
The Main Street one is not within our jurisdiction.
So it's the only one that
Yes.
falls in, yeah. Thanks.
Any other questions, comments? Cast your vote, please. Unanimous approval, thank you.
The second resolution we have on the agenda this evening, the adoption of this resolution would declare 22 unclaimed bicycles that are in the possession of the police department to be surplus property. By title, Declaration of Surplus Property, Unclaimed Bicycles.
Motion to approve, McIntyre.
Second, Johnson.
Any questions, comments? Cast your vote, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you. Next, first reading ordinances.
We have two first readings on the agenda this evening, the first of which, the adoption of this ordinance would authorize the sale, donation, or disposal of 22 unclaimed bicycles that are in possession of the police department and have been declared surplus property. By title, Donation of or Sale of Surplus Property, Unclaimed Bicycles. The second first reading we have on the agenda this
Mayor,
evening.
can I jump in on that one? Is there a benefit from a timeline standpoint, or is it within reason to waive a second reading on that? Are we allowed to do that? I mean, does it help out in getting rid of them, getting them to somebody before the holidays, et cetera?
At this point, it won't help. We plan to donate those to a charity either run by or that Joe Russell participates in, which is what we've done in the past. We have, I shouldn't say we, Sherry Guyman, the evidence custodian, has worked that out with him so that he knows when they're coming and has plans to make use of them. So while I appreciate the offer, we're good this year.
The second first reading we have on the agenda this evening, the approval of this ordinance would authorize the jurisdictional transfer of a portion of North Main Street from Tazewell County to the City of Washington by title, approving the jurisdictional transfer of North Main Street.
Mayor?
Alderperson Blondie.
Yeah, I just had a question. It's kind of related to what Brandon was asking earlier. Is just, I guess we do this transfer. Does that impact like the future then resurfacing US 24 project? Would that add additional cost to us at that Main Street stoplight intersection, or is this outside of that?
So this jurisdictional transfer, the northern limits are the northern radius returns of Kruger. So it doesn't go that far.
Okay, didn't go there. Okay.
We have 4 second reading ordinances on the agenda this evening. The first of which, the approval of this ordinance would approve an intergovernmental agreement for ADA paratransit services by title, intergovernmental agreement with City Lift for ADA paratransit services.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Smith.
Second, Johnson.
Motion to approve Smith, second Johnson. Any questions, comments?
Mayor,
Alderperson Johnson?
I just wanted to follow up a little from the comments that I had made at the previous meeting. I have been in contact with Jewel Ward. The township has approved their portion of this intergovernmental agreement, and she and I will be touching base in the future as we continue on with the process of giving the best possible service to our adults with disabilities in Washington.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Cast your vote, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you.
The second first reading we have on the agenda this evening, the approval of this ordinance would amend Chapter 16, Article 3 of Washington City Code regarding the solicitors, peddlers, and similar vendors by title, the Solicitor Ordinance Revised.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second, McIntyre.
Any questions, comments, or the attorney?
Mayor, I just wanted to point out that at the last meeting, Administrator Cart asked for a couple of clarifications. I did those, but I didn't get it out in time to get circulated with the agenda on Friday. So at your desk, you would have found a single page. That both changes were in section 1698, requiring payment of the application fee at the time of application as opposed to issuance of the permit. Apparently, there's been experience with people applying and we do all the work and then they don't show up to get the permit. And then also just a clarification that to the extent you have to provide vehicle information, you'll be required to provide the state of issuance of your license plate. Just minor clarifications, but I wanted everybody to be clear that that was added.
Any questions, comments?
Mayor?
Alderperson Moss?
Just one comment. I just wanted to say that I appreciate staff, city attorney, and council. I think there was a lot of input on this, and I think it is one that, you know, impacts a lot of citizens, and it was good citizen input as well. I heard from a few in my email. So just want to say that I think it's a good example of everybody here and the community working together to put together a good ordinance.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Cast your ballots, please.
Is this a vote on the amended version or the one that's attached to the agenda?
Amended. Yep.
Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you.
The next ordinance we have for second reading, the approval of this ordinance would amend Section 5252 of the Washington City Code regarding prohibitions on parking of certain vehicle types on streets by title, the parking on street for RVs and campers for 24 hours.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve McIntyre.
Smith, second.
Motion to approve by McIntyre, Smith seconds. Any questions, comments? Cast your ballots, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you.
The last ordinance we have for second reading this evening, the approval of this ordinance would authorize the mayor and city clerk of the city of Washington, Tazewell County, Illinois, to enter into an intergovernmental agreement between the city of Washington and county of Tazewell for animal and rabies control services by title, intergovernmental agreement for animal and rabies control between the city and Tazewell County.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Smith.
Second, Ernst.
Motion to approve Smith, second Ernst. Any questions, comments? Cast your ballots, please. Unanimous approval, motion carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, alderperson comments. Do I have any alderpersons wishing to comment?
Mayor,
Alderperson Smith.
I just wanted to remind everyone that the Washington Panthers will be in their second round playoffs this Saturday, 2 p.m. at home. And gates open at 12:30. I hope we get a big crowd.
Alderperson Blondie.
Yeah, hey, I just wanted to let everybody know, kind of as a reminder, as part of the amended agreement with 5 Points, they're required to have one meeting every year to cover finances. It's open to the public bodies here. So that meeting will happen in December. It'll be on the 10th at 7 a.m. So I believe that's a Wednesday. I know that's not the most ideal time, but it's before the regular board meetings that happen for 5 Points. So I'll send an email out, I'll send it to Dennis, and then Dennis can forward it out to the rest of the council as a reminder that December 10th, 7 a.m., everybody in the council is invited to the 5 Points meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other comments?
Mayor.
Alderperson McIntyre.
I would like to make a comment on that. If there are multiple council members that are wanting to attend, if you could let me and Val know so we can put out at least a notice that there is the potential for a quorum, we would appreciate that.
Alderperson McIntyre.
Yeah. So, Mayor, thank you. I brought it up just a little bit ago, and it might have shocked some of you, but I would, and I'm not certain if it's quite right now, or if we wait till we get a new city administrator kind of sat in or whatever. But I would like to entertain discussing the idea of how we're doing, committees and looking at kind of some of the older processes. I think Committee of the Whole has been very successful, but we have a lot of projects that go on. And I feel like when I got on the board, we had just stepped away from having committees, and we had a few committees. And I just don't know if it's something that this council would like to entertain. I would just like to understand it more so that we could really discuss it. I'm not necessarily saying this is something we need to bring at the next City of the Whole meeting, but it's something I would just like to see maybe in December or January, just discuss maybe some information, get an understanding of it, and if it'd be something that we think would be beneficial to us as a council. Again, I feel like there's a lot of us that are still new and even me having a couple years of experience, I think there's just some opportunities we could look at better supporting our staff, better supporting the community, and I just would like to at least entertain that idea if anyone's not opposed to it.
Thank you. Anyone else? With that being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Ernst?
Second, Smith.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 7:26. Thank you.